there. My name is Kay Byfield, and this is your ArtSpeaks Studio moment from ArtSpeaks Studio in Dallas, Texas. And today I want to talk about shipping your artwork. I used to enter a lot of competition a couple of decades ago and had a lot of experience shipping my artwork and knew exactly what to do. But I stopped painting competitively a long time ago and have only this year begun to enter shows that were out of state. And that meant that I had to learn how to ship my paintings again. And I thought you might like to hear what I've learned. Shipping a painting to another location where they're going to hold an exhibition means that you have to pack the painting, you have to follow all the rules for what their requirements are, and it needs to be easy for them to unpack, and it needs to be easy for them to ship back to you after the exhibition is over. So it's important that you understand exactly what you're doing and that you follow the process exactly. The first thing you need to know about entering an exhibition is that you need to follow the requirements in the prospectus exactly. If you don't use the right size mat, if you don't frame it under plexiglass instead of glass, if you don't meet the size requirements or the media requirements, you will be disqualified from the show. And I unfortunately had that happen to me last year because I didn't read the prospectus closely enough. I didn't quite understand and figured that it would be okay. And I was notified that my painting was not acceptable, and I shipped it there and had to ship it back again at my own expense without it even being shown. It was embarrassing, it was costly, and it needn't have happened if I had followed the requirements that were given. So I recommend that you always read the prospectus very carefully and be sure that you follow everything that they say to do. Also, it's really important to understand, if you're going to get into competition, that every judge is different and every show is different. And the painting that you are so proud of may not get into a specific show. This is because they receive a very high number of paintings typically, and only a small percentage are chosen. And every judge has different interests, different tastes, different things that they like. There might be other paintings that are similar to yours that the judge likes better. It's hard to know what happens. So what you need to do is have somewhat of a thick skin and let the painting be judged in different shows and see how it does in terms of a track record. That will tell you more about how the work is standing up to other paintings than any specific show. Every artist I know who competes has had a painting that didn't get into one show and then won an award in another show of equal competitive quality. It just depends on how the judge views it on the day that the judge made those determinations. So let's assume that you've submitted your entry, your painting has been selected, you've gotten an email typically telling you the directions, giving you directions about shipping your painting, and you're ready to ship it. The first thing you need to know is that in most shows, they have a window of delivery, and you need to be sure to ship your painting so that it will arrive during that window that they have given you. If it comes too soon, they may not have storage facilities for it. If it comes too late, it won't get in the show. So ship your painting during the time frame that they've given you. The next thing you need to know is that there are only so many options for shipping your painting. Sometimes a particular exhibition will require you to use a specific shipper. They have some arrangement with that shipper, or they have greater trust in that shipper, whatever. Most shows tell you not to ship with the U.S. Postal Service. And that's because USPS doesn't have the same track record with shipping large cartons as FedEx and UPS. But if you have the option of choosing whether you're going to go with FedEx or UPS, the biggest difference between them is that FedEx will require you to have an account with FedEx in order to use them to ship in return. Because what you're going to want to do is pay for shipping to the show, but you're also going to want to include a return label for shipping back from the show. And both UPS and FedEx allow you to do that, but FedEx requires you to have an account with them, and UPS doesn't. It doesn't cost anything to have an account, but you need to have one, and you'll need to know your account number when you go to ship. You may also want to check on pricing between the two. The way you do this is you measure the length, the width, and the depth of the box that you're going to be shipping, and know the weight, and know the zip code of where it's going to go. And you can contact UPS and you can contact FedEx with that information, and they can give you how much it would cost to ship. Now, the shipping prices change depending on the time of year and transportation options and so forth, but they can give you that, and you can shop between the two of them and pick the best option for you. So now let's talk about packing the painting when you've determined how you're going to ship it. In the old days, when I used to ship paintings a couple of decades ago, I had a couple of big wooden crates built for me, and they protected my paintings very well, but you can imagine how heavy they were. Most shows don't allow you to use wooden crates anymore, but you really wouldn't want to spend that much on shipping anyway. One option is to buy the packing materials at a hardware store like Home Depot or Lowe's and assemble the materials yourself. Another would be to take your painting to a shipper and have the shipper or the packer pack it for you. The third option is to buy a pre-packed heavy art carton at one of the art carton suppliers. If you want to pack it yourself, you're going to need a box, a heavy corrugated box that is 3 or 4 inches bigger in every dimension than what your painting will take up. You're going to need some kind of wrapping material. You could put your painting in a plastic bag, or you could even better put it in bubble wrap. And then you're going to have to buy foam, 1/2-inch thick foam sheets that you pack on the outsides. You sandwich your painting in between those inside the box. You're also going to want some corners to put on your painting so that will protect the corners from any bumping or jostling during the shipment. Be sure that you don't use styrofoam peanuts or anything loose like that as packing material, because it makes a terrible mess at the destination, and a lot of shows will specifically tell you not to do that, and it could get your painting out of the show. It's much better to use materials that they can easily keep together and repack with a very simple process, because it's a lot of work to unpack and hang an exhibition. So this is one of the cartons that I bought that is designed for artwork, and I just got it back from a show where I shipped a painting to be exhibited. These kinds of cartons come from companies like ProPack, MasterPack, and Airfloat. I think this one's Airfloat. And these cartons are really terrific. You can see it has a handle on the top, and it opens. When you ship it, you just put a piece of tape across here and a piece of tape across here, and it's quite secure. You can carry it easily, and you just open it like that, and it lifts right up. And inside you have a pretty, an inch thick sheet of foam that protects the painting from the top and the bottom. And the painting, and in between is another foam sheet that you can tear out the center of it and fit the painting right in. And then underneath is another foam layer. So you don't have to go to the hardware store and buy the foam. You don't need to have the corners that I told you about if you packed it for yourself, because it's so nicely protected on all sides. And these cartons can run you about $100, but they're reusable multiple times. Okay, so now you have some idea of what it takes to ship a painting to an art show. And all I can tell you is that it's expensive because you have to frame the painting and you have to enter the show and you have to come up with some kind of shipping carton and you have to pay for the postage back to the show and back. But there's a lot of excitement and fun in being in a show. So if that's something that you want to explore, I really recommend it. I've gone to several of the shows where I've had paintings exhibited, and it's been great fun meeting the other artists and going to the reception and seeing how my work looks compared with other people's paintings. So whatever you decide to do, you know a little bit more, and I hope that you will have a good time and happy painting.